The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that.
People think that they're on the outs because they're not always in the same room together, Maureen. That's what she would like people to believe. Like she had what, 1 or 2 public appearances without him, and that's what led to the divorce speculation. That's not quite it, my dear. It's what are the things? Oh, your words. It's your words that led us to believe you can't stand him.
Picture this. Barack Obama thought he was the untouchable cool kid of politics, sipping coffee and dropping slick one-liners. But then Megyn Kelly and Tulsi Gabbard roll in like superheroes who didn't get the memo to go easy on legends. What happens next isn't just a takedown. It's a total wrecking ball that'd make even Obama's teleprompter take a sick day. Stick around, because this showdown makes political roasts look like story time in kindergarten.
The truth is, if you add it all up, even the year, if the odds were you're going to be married to your partner for 50 years, and 10 of those years could be bad,
you'd sign up for it.
You'd sign up for it.
You'd sign up.
Right. And that's really how it works out.
Is it, Michelle? It's not. I've been married for 17 and a half years, and not one was bad. I think she and he married the wrong people.
Barack Obama floated through politics like a superhero in a movie. He strolled into Washington like a smooth-talking wise guy, making hope and change sound like the coolest song ever. The media loved him so much that if he coughed, they'd call it a leadership moment. He wasn't just a president. He was like a brand you'd buy into, like signing up for a fan club instead of just voting.
Lo and behold, what happened next was we're going to do a new assessment and we're going to see what Russian interference was. Immediately, the media started reporting, it was huge. They interfered in everything. They tried to help Trump. So the answer to the homework was delivered to the media before the homework had been done. And then when the homework was officially delivered in January of 17 to Obama, shock of all shocks, it said what Obama wanted it to say, which was Russia, Russia, Russia. They wanted to help Trump. And off we were on the collusion allegations that would dominate Trump's first term. So now you have spoken to a whistleblower still inside the CIA who worked on that 17 ICA. And this person telling us what?
Hey, if you're digging this, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. Every shiny statue meets a hammer eventually. And here come two, Megyn Kelly and Tulsi Gabbard. If Obama's perfect image was a famous painting, they showed up with spray cans and ladders, not caring about polite cheers. Suddenly, the golden boy of politics looked less like gold and more like a guy who got away with some fancy PR tricks.
Implications of this are far-reaching. It have to do with the integrity of our democratic republic. It has to do with an outgoing president taking action to manufacture intelligence to undermine and usurp the will of the American people in that election and launch what would be a years-long coup against the incoming president of the United States.
Megyn Kelly came in ready to cut deep. She's not known for playing soft. She's like a human knife, sharp and ready to make even the coolest politicians nervous. She's built her career on standing up to big names. And if that means dragging Obama's shiny media image through the dirt, she's all in.
You just listen to the pod. They got to watch it because, first of all, we're taking this thing apart tomorrow on the mini nerve.
Oh, good.
He's got more chemistry with and affection for brother Craig than his own wife, if you look at the way they greet each other. And then my favorite thing is the staging now, because we all know that politics is about optics and stagecraft. Michelle's at this end of the table. Obama's all the way right over here at this end. And brother Craig is between them like a mediator, like a marriage counselor.
So
they're
true.
really still in love and together and not getting a divorce. Why?
What makes Megyn so tough is that she's got proof. She's seen the media trip over itself to protect Obama from hard questions, and she's not afraid to call it out. While reporters were writing love notes pretending to be news, Megyn was like the teacher pointing out everyone's sloppy work. Imagine a class where everyone's praising the king, and Megyn walks in with a report showing he's not so great. That's her vibe. Then comes Tulsi Gabbard. If Megyn's a knife, Tulsi's a big hammer. She doesn't care about hurt feelings. She just wants the truth out there. Tulsi's not throwing shade. She's flipping the whole table. She's the kind of person who'd turn a nice dinner into a tough Q&A. She didn't just sit in an office making decisions. She lived through what those choices did. So when she talks about wars or bad policies, she's not guessing. She's pointing to the real damage and saying, yeah, I saw what your hope and change actually did.
More fuel on the fire that there's a potential, maybe a divorce or some sort of rockiness going on in the Obamas' relationship. They both posted these mirrored, very choreographed Valentine's Day messages on X, but he was just seen at an LA, it's the other basketball team, the Clippers, thank you, game without her. And then on Tuesday, he was spotted eating out at a fancy dinner in Sherman Oaks with his both daughters, Malia and Sasha, but again, no Michelle, according to TMZ.
That's when Obama's perfect image starts to crack. For years, people acted like he stopped wars, fixed race problems, and floated above Washington's mess like a superhero. But look closer, past the fancy speeches and celebrity vibe, and his record looks a lot like any other president who promised big and delivered small. Take foreign policy. Obama acted like he'd shut down the war machine. Instead, he just powered it up differently. Drone strikes went way up, innocent people got hurt, and wars were wrapped in pretty speeches about freedom. It's like getting a trophy before you even play, then messing up the game for 8 years. At home, Obama was called the guy who'd heal America's race problems. His election was supposed to be a new start, proof the country was past its old divides.
Distraction. What is your response to the former president?
They're doing the exact same thing that people like Senator Warner are doing. He was the head of the Intelligence Committee at the time. They would have to admit and actually address the details of their complicity in this or their absolute failure in conducting the most basic responsibilities of, again, asking, where is this intelligence coming from? What are the sources? What proof do you have of these of this high confidence assessment? Remember, John Brennan and James Clapper at the time assessed, and James Comey, with high confidence that Russia aspired to help Donald Trump win the election in 2016.
But things didn't work out that way. Tensions kept growing. Police shootings, riots, and big fights didn't go away. They got worse. It's like painting a broken wall and being shocked when it falls apart. Megyn Kelly jumps in here, pointing out that the media cheered the paint job while ignoring the cracks. Obama got easy questions, fancy magazine covers, and a press that acted like his biggest fans. She calls out how unfair that is. If any other president had grown spying programs or ordered drone strikes that hurt whole villages, the news would have gone wild. With Obama, they acted like it was no big deal. Tulsi's take? Obama wasn't the peace guy. He swapped one war for another while acting like everything was fine. She shows how he sold change, but kept the same broken systems going.
Obama's still at it. And in this particular soundbite, she's got thoughts on relationships. Listen here.
Relationships are long, and there are also ebbs and flows, right?
Here.
So I think sometimes people who date don't realize that, in long-term relationships, you're gonna have deep dips. And you're going to have
a bad year.
You're going to have I tell people, and folks think that this is harsh, it's like you're going to have a bad decade.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been married to my husband for 30 plus years. I mean, the truth is, if you add it all up, even the year, if the odds were you're going to be married to your partner for 50 years and 10 of those years could be bad, that's...
You'd sign up for it.
You'd sign up for it.
You'd sign up for it.
Right. And that's really how it works out.
That's what makes this team up so awesome. Megyn Kelly exposes the media bubble that kept Obama safe, while Tulsi Gabbard tears into the policies behind his speeches. Together, they're like a wrecking crew. One rips off the pretty wallpaper, the other smashes the shaky foundation. Obama speeches? They're so good he could make a shopping list sound epic. But Megyn and Tulsi remind us speeches don't stop bombs or fix lives. By the time they're done, Obama's untouchable vibe is gone. His legacy looks less like a grand statue and more like a soggy cardboard cutout. And his fans? They lose it. Social media goes crazy, with people acting like criticizing Obama is like kicking a cute puppy. His supporters flood the internet with hashtags and emotional posts, but that just proves the point. His image is like a sacred thing no one's supposed to question.
There was no credible intelligence that actually reported that. So President Obama's very carefully worded response that came from his office, again, deflects away from addressing any of the truth that was revealed. Right. Senator Warner refuses to speak the truth about how one of our whistleblowers came forward and approached his office numerous times about what had actually occurred, how he wouldn't go along with this fake intelligence manufactured report, was sidelined because of it. And guess what? Senator Warner's office wouldn't even give the whistleblower an email address to send his evidence of this the treasonous conspiracy that we have now released to the American people.
But the truth always sneaks through, and that's why this hits so hard. Obama's presidency is still loved by tons of people, but the cracks can't be ignored once they're pointed out. Megyn Kelly and Tulsi Gabbard didn't just take shots at a guy, they took down a myth. And once a myth is busted, no amount of speeches or old memories can fix it. Megyn strikes first, aiming at the media shield that's protected Obama forever. She doesn't just question it, she breaks it open. Think about it. Obama could roll out a policy that looked a lot like the last guy's, and reporters would rush to say it was different or better. If another president grew spying programs, they'd call it creepy. With Obama, it was smart oversight. The media's love for him wasn't news. It was like a fan club with better cameras. Megyn calls that out clearly, showing how reporters who should have asked tough questions acted like Obama's cheerleaders.
Speaking of Barack Obama, he decided to drop a post on X today, and I thought, okay, maybe in the wake of the Pete Hegseth presser, he's going to say something like, no matter how you feel about the Iranian strike, hats off to our, boys in blue, our guys in the bombers. He went a different way. This is what it was.
Here's how you're thinking about these eulogies specifically in the moment and all the tensions that you just brought out.
I didn't even want to talk. I was so mad. Part of the reason I think I ended up having anything to say at that moment was when I heard some of the victims' families forgive the shooter. And I thought, all right, let's...
When problems popped up, they weren't called scandals. They were learning moments. When mistakes happened, they weren't failures. They were tough choices. It's like having friends who excuse everything you do. Forgot a birthday? You were being inspirational. Burned dinner? You reinvented cooking. Megyn's point is clear. The media gave Obama a giant free pass, letting him slide past criticism that would have sunk anyone else. Then Tulsi swings in, and her hits land harder because she's not just a talker. She's a soldier who saw the real results of Obama's choices. She goes after his foreign policy messes, like how his team helped cause chaos in places like Libya. It went from we're helping democracy to oops, now it's a mess. That wasn't hope and change, it was trouble with a fancy speech. Tulsi doesn't hold back, calling it reckless and harmful, and coming from her, it hits different.
That claims that Russia had helped Donald Trump get elected contradicted every other assessment that had been made previously in the months leading up to the election that said exactly the opposite, that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to try to quote-unquote hack the United States election for the presidency of the United States. So the effect of what President Obama and his senior national security team did was subvert the will of the American people, undermining our democratic republic, and enacting what would be essentially a years-long coup against President Trump, who was duly elected by the American people.
Here's the cool part about this double attack. Megyn and Tulsi don't do the same thing. They work together perfectly. Megyn shows how the media kept Obama's image shiny, while Tulsi tears into the reality behind his words. One says the emperor's tailor is fibbing. The other shows the emperor tripping over his own outfit. It's a takedown from two sides, and it's super strong. The contrast is almost funny when you see it. Obama's speeches could make you think the future was bright and close. His words were like poetry, and he knew it. But speeches don't stop wars or bring back lives lost to bad plans. It's one thing to make people feel good. It's another to actually deliver.
All these different strands. A case upholding healthcare, a case declaring same-sex marriage part of our constitutional protections, of mourning. I think what pulls it all together is that no one person did any of it.
So he's sitting around on a June Thursday thinking about himself and his glory days. And to your point, Smug, I'm starting to warm up to Michelle Obama's POV. I mean, like, what does he do?
Megyn nails the irony. While the media loved Obama speeches, the real stuff got ignored. Spying programs grew, whistleblowers got chased, and the open government promise was like a locked door. Reporters who'd grill other leaders for small mistakes let Obama slide on big ones. Together, Megyn and Tulsi strip away the shine, leaving a picture that's way less pretty. Obama's presidency through their eyes isn't the perfect story people remember. It's a mix of some wins, ignored flops, and contradictions so big they'd be funny if they weren't so serious.
Tulsi Gabbard caught President Obama absolutely cold. What they did to this country, starting in 2016, going up to 2020 in the election, they tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. You know, when we caught Hillary Clinton, I said, you know what? Let's not go too far here. It's the ex-wife of a president, and I thought it was sort of terrible. And I let her off the hook, and I'm very happy I did. But after what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group.
And that's the thing. The humor comes from how people still hold on to the myth, even when the truth is right there. Megyn and Tulsi make you see the emperor's awkward side. And once you do, you can't unsee it. Obama's polished brand looks less like a lasting legacy and more like a super good ad campaign that doesn't hold up when you check it closely. By the end of their takedown, the gap between Obama's smooth words and the messy reality is super clear. His speeches might still give you goosebumps, but his record makes you rethink for a whole different reason. It's like finding out your favorite magician wasn't really cutting someone in half. He was just cutting the truth in half and hoping you didn't notice.